A bit of work on the Classic Mini. I've removed the clutch and brake master cylinders, as you can see, and this is going to need a clean up. I think the studs are probably okay, threads are alright, just a bit manky, so you're going to have to clean up, dab of paint on the tops there, because the new engine's going in. The engine's bay is going to get all cleaned and painted, so I want it to look really nice. So didn't do a video on taking off the brake and clutch cylinders, and there aren't many out there on the internet, so I should have done. Never mind, sorry. But what I am going to do is a video on removing of the brake pedal assembly. Now, to do that, you've got to take the steering column out, otherwise you damage the steering column. So in preparation for that, I've got to take the front seat out. I've already undone the nuts because I had it off to get some access in there to get the clevis pins out for the brake and master cylinders and the split pins, and get the steering column out and take the pedal box out. Steering column, from what I've read, it seems pretty easy to do. Just a couple of bolts, bolt at the top there, bolt down the bottom there. Need to remove the carpets as well and disconnect the electrics after you take the cowling off, and out she pops. So here we go. The seat's out. We're going to take the centre console out so I can get the front carpet out, but it's been a bit of a pig and I don't want to ruin it. I can't remember how I got it in, so I will endeavour to do it without. I just don't want to make a mess on the nice carpets that I've got here. So we've got to undo this bolt here, and then we've got to undo the nut and bolt down the bottom there, the pinch bolt. That's got to come out completely. You see that one there? I'll zoom in for you. Yeah, so sorry about the wires, they will get tidied up. That nut and bolt, there's a nut, bolt through here, there's a nut on the other side. Got to come off. I sprayed a bit of plus gas on them just to ease them up a bit, and we've got to disconnect the electrics and pull the steering column clear. Before you do that, you've got to make sure that you get the wheels in a straight line. Just gone to select a socket for this top bolt here. This is a 1/2 inch, too small, 13 just right, so that's a metric bolt. Interesting. I guess British Leyland did start swapping from a mix of metric to imperial. This is a 1982 car, so I don't know. So we'll get that undone. So another little tip I've just identified is there's my steering wheel with the wheels straight. So obviously when I fitted it, I've got the centre thing the right way around orientated, and with this one coming down. However, you won't be able to get to the bolts on the bottom there. There we go, this is better. So what you need to do, you've got a recess in here. There's a pointy stick gone. I used to use that. So there's a recess in there, and you have to turn. I can get this in a good position. Not easy. We turn the steering wheel around so we can get the nut facing downwards, but obviously before you remove the steering column, you've got to remember to put the steering wheel back in the straight position before you stick it back on. Okay, so with that in that position there, we should be able to get in there with a socket and get that off. Okay, before you can get the pinch bar out, I'm pretty sure I've read somewhere that you have to open up the clamp. So just found a selection of screwdrivers. Just open up the clamp and the pinch end. That's what it's called, a pinch bolt, I guess. And I think inside the shaft probably has an indentation to the slides, the bolt slides into or recesses into. Oops. Okay, let's try that. Best way of doing this. The thread. Back on. Dropping it down the carpet. Fingers and thumbs. There you go. Okay. It's on there. I'll find a way of get the carpet back around it like that. I'll get in there a bit. There you go. That will come out. Give it a punch on there or something. Punch it through. I think, again, looking at this, now to get the bolt out, that's why we've got this big recess here. We're going to have to turn the steering column around and tap it from the other side. Like that there. And then we bolt down. We have to put some pliers on that. Put the recess there. Get a bit of room in there. Pull the bolt out. There we go. One bolt, one lock washer, one nut. Okay. There's the bottom one off. What I'll do now is get the steering wheel back round into the straighten position. Steering wheel straight, wheels straight, and we'll because we've undone the top bolt and all pretty rusty. Give that a good clean up and disconnect the electrics and then see about getting the steering column out. So all of the wiring for the steering wheel, the steering column and the instrument cluster all under here. We've got 1, 2, 3 connectors. This is an extra one. I think it's to do with my radio that I fitted, I think. I'm not sure. It might be the taco. I don't know. I'll have to have a... Anyway, I'm going to undo them. They look like all the connector blocks are different. So, shouldn't be a problem remembering which way around they go. Let's disconnect those then. Now, that's the connectors disconnected. Something to watch out for though is don't take these bolts out while you're fiddling around with that, because the steering column did nearly drop out and I don't want that to happen. I do need to sort some of these electrics out, some of which I've put in, I think. There, so we'll just get this bolt out here and we should be good for pulling the steering column out. We'll give that a go. Okay, so sorry, just got the steering column out off camera. Trying to pull it up was not working, so what I have to do is get my nylon hammer, turn this around so I could just get underneath the centre boss there and give it a good few whacks and off it came. So it's obviously just stuck on the splines at the bottom there. Okay, that's the steering rack spline there. Seen better days. It's going to need a clean up. Again, considering changing the steering rack, but that's another 70 odd, 80 odd quid. How far do you go? So, you know, it works. Depends. Putting a new subframe in, new engine, whole new running gear. It seems a shame to use the old steering rack. Depends how I can clean up the ends, but I obviously don't want to get to a position where I think I should have taken it out and I can't because I've put everything in. So we can see we've had some brake fluid or water seepage down. This was all freshly painted in here when I restored the car about 5 years ago. A bit of brake fluid's come down here. You can see where it's bubbled the paint, so that's all going to have to be cleaned back. So yeah, this front end's going to have to come out and do a proper. Okay, well there we go. Next job, pedal box. So interestingly, there's just looked through the Haynes manual and it doesn't cover anything. I'm not sure if it covers the pedals individually, but I've got a Austin Rover Mini repair manual, and that also only covers removing the brake and clutch pedal. It does not cover removing the pedal box. Brake the brake switch there, connections need to come off, and then we've got a bolt there, a corresponding bolt the other side, and then what looks like one bolt up there in the centre with this yellow tag, which I remember reading something about it being quite important. But there's also another bolt there holding on, strange looking bolt, holding on the steering column bracket, so that's got to come off as well, and that's going to get cleaned and painted up as well. So okay, let's have a go at that. I'm rushing ahead of myself. So yeah, these bolts are identical. So there's two of those on these odd looking heads, and the bracket, and then there's this yellow bit here. And what was there? Two lovely big flat washers fell out as well. Okay, so these two back bolts to come out, and then we'll see if we can free it up. I need to get the accelerator pedal out as well, because that's going to need cleaning up. Just need to work out how to get the cable off it. Okay, I've got the two bolts out here. You can see got some lovely sunlight coming through now from the engine compartment. And these are two bolts with two lock washers. Secure the back, and the brake assembly still seems to be attached to something up the top there. I'll have to investigate and come back. No, nothing appears to be additional, so maybe it's just yeah, question of loosening all those bolts off and pulling it down, pulling it out. So it's really it seems stuck, but it's just a question of pushing it down from above on the studs. And once you push it down from above and push the studs from above, it will come down. Oh yeah, there's a bracket that's come off there. I'm not sure what that's from, so I better identify that. That's obviously fallen out of it when it's come off. And the yellow bracket seems to be stuck on with blue tack. That's weird. I'll find out about that before I put it back on. It's going to be difficult to get it back in without scratching anything, but we'll see how we go. And it is mucky up there. And yeah, take the heater hose out, or take the heater hose off before you do this, or put the pedal assembly in before you plumb in the heating. So that's out of the way. And I've obviously got no fresh air vent connected on this one. That's probably why my fan doesn't blow cold air. So as well as this bracket falling out, this clip, I just spotted that as a dropped off as well. I don't know where that's come from. The brake switch looks okay. So there's the pedal box assembly out. There's the brackets, the yellow clip, and the 4 bolts to hold it in place. There's the 2 bolts and 1 nut and lock washer from the upper and lower steering column brackets, and then there's the clevis pin, one of the clevis pins from the master cylinder, and the other one is over there. So they'll either get cleaned up or I'll replace them. And someone suggested instead of using split pins, use an R-clip. So I need to measure the diameter of the split pin and get some R-clips in, so they're easier to insert. Okay, well there we go. Now it's clean up time.